Welcome to Allfather Metal, everyone. Today we have I always like to say this, a very special guest, but today it is a very special guest. We have
Thank
Jens,
you.
guitarist from Jotun, the Danish
Jesper.
Faroese band. I got that right? Jotun? Is that how you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
Jesper. I'm borrowing Jens's phone.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Jesper. It's
That's
Jesper.
awesome.
Jens is his brother. We have Jesper here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So we got
exactly.
that down pat. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for taking your time today. I
Yeah,
appreciate
of
you
course.
joining
Of
us.
course.
Awesome.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to congratulate you on the pending release of Kinship, which is out
Thank you.
in just under a week, right? On Metal Blade?
8 days?
8 days. Yeah. How excited
Yeah.
are you?
Well, it's building. I think it's been quite crazy since the release of I Feel the Night actually. So that's
Yeah.
yeah, 6, 7 weeks ago now, and we've just released singles and had a lot of interviews, and the reviews are beginning to arrive in our mail inboxes and so on. So the hype is building inside me, but it's I think the whole release week will just be amazing because I think we'll see a lot of those reviews coming out, and
Hmm.
we will, it will build in general. So and also just looking very much forward for the release day itself. And
Awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
much
yeah,
looking
yeah,
forward to. I mean, I've had the good fortune of being able to spin the album early,
yeah,
and we'll get to that though. But
yeah, yeah.
to start, Jesper, I just wanted to take you all the way back to 2016 and the
Oh yeah,
release of your debut AP, The Wizard Falls,
yes,
and then
yes,
immediately fast forward you right up until today and the pending release of Kinship. Now, it's been quite the
yeah,
journey. And I was curious to know
yeah,
if there is a pivotal moment throughout that time that stands out to you kind of as the marker of that, yes, everything has come together for Uten and we're on the right track. Do you have one pivotal moment that
yeah.
stands out?
It's hard to just pick one, of course,
Hmm.
but if I have to choose like only one, um, I would say that the feeling of releasing Access All Worlds
Hmm.
was some kind of such a moment, where we were the lineup we are now, and had been for 1.5 year, 2 years, something. And that kind of marked the first time that we went out public with our music in a big scale, with a
Hmm.
full album. Um, and that feeling, that celebration we had that night back in February 2021, that was very, very special, I think. Yeah, so I think I would choose the release of our debut album. Uh, yeah,
Very cool. And going back to Access All Worlds, the
yeah,
one thing that stands out the most to me about Jotun and that album is the distinctiveness of your sound. I have countless hours of consuming your music because I'm a really big fan, and I'm
cool,
still
man.
hard pressed to kind of pinpoint any specific influences or inspiration. As an example
Yeah,
of this, numerous times, when you go on to Spotify or Tidal, they have the suggested artists. So if I'm
yeah,
listening to Houston, I'll peruse the suggested artist to try and find something, similar because I want to fill that fill
yeah,
that
yeah,
uh, that Newton like void. I want to have more of that. But I have a really hard time finding anything, that's quite like your music.
yeah. Yeah,
So
okay.
I just
That's a good thing.
that is a
That's a
good
good
thing.
thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
But it brings up a question, like,
yeah.
as a musician and songwriter, do you have any personal influences that have kind of helped you shape the sound of Newton along the way? Because I really can't identify, just listening
Yeah,
to
yeah,
your
yeah.
music, any of those influences.
Yeah, I think what makes there's different perspectives on why we sound as we do,
Hmm.
uh, and I think for me personally, as a musician, it's been a matter of going through different like music eras in my life, both as a listener, but also as a guitar player and writer. Uh, all the way back in childhood, it was classical music and classical guitar.
Hmm.
And I actually really played mainly classical guitar until like in the mid high school or something. So a lot of years, was defined by classical music. And it's the same with my brother. He's also like from the get-go a classical guitarist, but he picked up the electric guitar a bit faster than I did. But that's definitely, if you want to know why Jotun is Jotun, you need to go nuts with your classical music listening.
Right. Okay.
Lots of classical guitar music and lots of symphony music, piano music, all kinds of classical.
Hmm.
Um, and then I would say, like core DNA thing in our sound is, for me personally, is that I had like in high school, you know, uh, I really got into to late 60s, early 70s rock music, all the names and digging deep in that whole music era is still something I listen to very
Hmm.
much today. King Crimson, Pink Floyd, Genesis, Doors, Deep Purple, Genesis, Black Sabbath, you name it. I think that is one of the highlights in human art history.
Right. Yeah.
So that's also there. And then you can almost go around the clock in all worlds in the metal music because that's been the thing for all the years. That's the love for metal music. And then I think besides, also I love folk music and blues music and all kinds. Uh, Actually, if you take the last lick in my solo in Kinship Elite, that's a blues lick. So that's all sorts
Yeah. Yeah.
of things in what we make. And I think what is perhaps most important is the inspiration you get from just purely good music.
Hmm.
And that is to me more about energies and feelings and the experience. And that's very connected with the inspiration that all five members in the Jotun gather from just living and traveling, wandering around in mountains for example, in Norway,
Hmm.
or reading a really fantastic novel. Or there's so many things there, and that's not a specific thing. That's more just like an experience. That it's connected with something bigger than you can put into, okay, it's this.
Right.
So I think Jotun is all about getting inspired by the most interesting and adventurous energies we have. Just try and connect with that and write music from that in some way. Yeah,
Excellent. And
some kind. Yeah,
so that I guess the next question I have is,
yeah.
do you consider yourself progressive death metal still at this point? Like if you were to
I
pinpoint,
never, if I think about Jotun every day in my life because I work on Jotun in some kind of way each day, all year round.
right? Yeah.
But I never, think, okay, I play in a death metal band or I play in a anything like that. I play in Jotun.
Hmm.
And and to me, putting a genre on the music we do is simplifying what we do. And I don't think we need to do that to simplify it.
It is what it is, right?
it
Yeah.
is what it is, and
Yeah.
if you put on the the death metal glasses and go through the album, you'll find death metal there. If you put on the black metal, you'll find black metal influences, both on Kinship and on Access All Worlds.
Hmm.
So you can find all kinds of inspirations there, but I don't think you can tag us simply. Yeah,
Yeah, I would agree with that. Listening to Kinship, I hear, as you mentioned, you put those glasses on and you'll find something, everyone will find something that appeals to them. And I think that's probably what makes your music most interesting,
yeah, yeah.
because it is
Perhaps, yeah,
limitless. It is limitless. Um, so I wanted to talk about your vocalist, John, for a moment, because
yeah. Let's do.
he is a true gem.
Yeah,
The man just has a way of kind of getting into your soul and not letting go.
yeah,
The distinctiveness and versatility of his voice, I would say, is on par, if not exceeds, the likes of some of the greatest vocalists in metal. I think that's
yeah,
what makes him so appealing to me,
yeah,
because he is interesting in much the same way as Bruce Dickinson or Ozzy or Rob Halford. He's unique,
yeah,
distinct. Now, I'm
yeah,
curious to know, when it comes to composing your music, how much
yeah,
focus is put into the creation of a song to ensure that you are getting the most out of John's voice? And
yeah.
are the songs written around vocal melodies and vocal ideas?
Well, first of all, I will say that I agree with you because I think it's important to praise things when they're really good, And I think,
Mhm.
as you say, I think Yeon is among the best singers in the world today.
Mhm.
Um, it's always uh, the general like approach for us when we write the Jotun song is that my brother and I write all the guitars. So imagine having this instrumental piece of guitar layers as a form of like a small guitar symphony or something.
Right.
And when we feel that it's right to go further on with this track, we present it to the rest of the band. But in this process of writing this, besides that we just want it to be as good music as possible, we have especially Jævn in our minds. The whole like perspective of writing a good rock song, writing a good metal song, where you have, of course, the guitar-driven music, but it's all about giving the best circumstances for Yeon to unfold his vocals as
Hmm.
much as it possibly can. So we have it's when my brother and I are done with the guitar as a first you know uh, uh, bit on the song, or what do you say? It's with it's we have an idea of where the vocals could be.
Hmm.
Of course, often something else also happens. There could be vocals places we didn't think of, or something like that. But often we end up having some kind of idea of the composition as such, and often it turns out to be like that also when we begin to work with Yeon. But we have
Right.
Yeon very, very much in mind. We are, our foundation and our philosophy of music, of good rock and metal music, is very based on very good vocals. So
Hmm.
when you mention Bruce or Rob, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and so on. That's leading stars on our metal sky. So and that is really about getting that huge vocal of energy and emotion out there, and that's also a part of our music very much.
You and your brother do an incredible job at letting Yon
Thank
shine
you,
then. So
thank you.
congratulations. So I just got to come out and say it. Dropping the Mistland single nearly a year and a half
Yes.
out from the new album was both a gift and utterly cruel. Now,
Sorry about that.
I will say that every Friday for the last year, I jump onto YouTube, looking, hoping, for a new single for an entire year and a
Wow.
half, and I don't think I've anticipated new music from a band like this, since the gap between Metallica's "And Justice for All" and the Black Album. So
Wow,
I'm
that's
curious.
huge.
It is huge. It is
So
huge.
yeah, that's fucking huge.
Now I'm curious to
Yeah.
know the decision behind releasing Mistland so early. Was that track
Yeah.
part of the same writing sessions for Kinship, or
Yeah, it
yep,
is.
yep.
And it was. And I think I was the main driver behind releasing that song last year. If you think about, you know, I had a big wish to keep on the good energy from Access All Worlds
Hmm.
back back when because we took this decision in 22, you know. So back then we didn't know when this album would come out. We didn't know if it would be 24, 25, 26. We knew that we would work hard, but
Hmm.
lots of things can happen and so on. But to keep a good wave going, I wish to release a song. Um, and also for us, it became a way of trying a new producer because we at that time we knew that we probably wouldn't go back to Fredrik Nordström, who did the Axis of All Worlds,
Hmm.
because we he nailed the everything we wanted on that album, but wasn't that sound we wanted on the next album. We
Right.
wanted to find something a bit more warm and organic in some way. And then we had this song and could release it and could try out a new producer, you know. So we went to Jesper Gräs, who did what we all think is an incredible mix from his side. But if you had like Nordstrom over here, then we perhaps tilted over here with the Bukren, in our opinion, and that's also why we could, you know, releasing Mistland in 23 led the way for us to go further and taking the decision of going to Jakob Hansen and mixing Kinship, you know, and yeah, but I think the main reason was to keep the ball rolling, you know,
Right.
and and
Yeah.
and and we had also conversations about if this should go on the album and so on. But I was totally sure all the time that it would be also a track on the full album. So
Cool. Cool. We're running short of time here. I just wanted to
yeah, yeah,
um, kind of get an idea of what you guys plan, your plans after
yeah,
Kinship's released. Will you be doing some touring for
yeah.
the album?
We have 3 headliner gigs in Denmark in January, just announced, and then we have some plans that aren't announced yet. We have a festival in Denmark in April,
Hmm.
and then we have some festival announcements coming, and we are also working on some touring. Um, I think something that has been like that is a part of our band and where we are and so on is that we have really learned not to promise too much on the live front before it's really like
Solid.
settled, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid because the tour life and especially with Corona and the aftermath of Corona and so on is a bit like the Wild West,
Mm,
and especially for a band in our position where we're not like unknown and we're not totally like we haven't gone up in the mid section like globally, but we're somewhere there, and that's a quite fragile place
right.
to be as a band in regards of arranging tours, you know. But we really put a lot of work into also landing good, meaningful tours, and we have some very interesting festivals to announce, and yeah, so there'll be much more news about it. But I will say that if someone out there find him or herself in Denmark in January 9, 10, 11, that will be like the very first Kinship release shows where we play, I think, almost everything from the album. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. I just might have to rearrange my
Yeah,
travel
you're very
plans then.
welcome.
Yeah.
Would be
Might I
awesome. Yeah.
might I make a suggestion for a tour? Just gonna throw this out there, but
Yeah.
a Jotun Borknagar tour would be
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Borgnaga is one of my personal favorites, and I've been so lucky, and my brother and Björn and so on has been so lucky to meet Vortex at multiple times, and Øystein Bruin
Mm.
from Borgnaga just came with the quote for us. He's listened to Kinship and is very very happy about that album
Oh,
and so
that
on.
is
So I
awesome. That is awesome.
so the the connection is there, and that is certainly something that we wish to build on, and also live wise.
Absolutely. That would be an incredible experience. Again, Jesper, thank you for taking your time.
Yeah,
Much
thank you.
appreciated. And again, everyone, you can pick up Kinship on October 21st, 25th.
Oh
Um,
yes.
don't miss out on this one. It's definitely an album of the year. Absolutely. So again, thank you, Jesper, and
Amazing. Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.